Hey folks, it's Spitz at EDTC Revolutions in Washington, D.C. 2012. It's my pleasure to have Dorothy Wetzel, who is the founder and chief extrovert of Extravertic, an organization I've had the pleasure to work with before myself. And we just got off a panel discussing the role of patient bloggers and their relationship to their own constituents as well as the companies that might sponsor them. So how would you capture kind of the essence of what we were saying in a way that that we can take that away to our own clients?
I think there's a couple of things. In terms of patient bloggers, I think one thing important is to treat them as you would any valued stakeholder, whether it be the press, is transparency, having planned responses and being able to speak to them openly. I think another thing we spoke about, and something I feel very passionately about, is the need to use online, particularly Twitter, as a venue for customer service. People are out there having issues, and they expect a response. And I think the thing that most pharmaceutical companies don't realize is they already have the capabilities to respond. They've got the call center with all the safety procedures. They've got the FAQs, and they've got the IT infrastructure to identify where people are.
Yeah, there was an example. Virgin Airlines had someone who sat next to someone who smelled bad, and this fellow tweeted from his seat, and because they had connectivity, within minutes, the Virgin Airlines customer service department contacted the stewardess of the plane. And she came up to the guy and said, excuse me, sir, but come with me. And they reseated him within minutes after making this claim. And the guy was kind of blown away, like customer service doesn't get as good as that. Yeah. Ironically enough, within the healthcare space, we've got individuals who aren't just flying from one location to the other. And it's usually, hopefully, not a do-or-die situation. But healthcare is just so important. It's so vital. It's so central. And yet the disconnect between the patient, even with the physician, and especially with the organizations responsible for their treatments, is just so distended. So the opportunity of using Twitter, what other options or opportunities do you share with clients to really stimulate that engagement and dialogue in ways that they don't consider or are afraid of?
I think people in pharma companies tend to underestimate what great content, what great people, what authoritative people that they have, and to get out there and share on a safe way. So, for example, AstraZeneca, one of the first live Twitter discussions they had was about their patient assistance program.
The RX Safe program.
Yeah. So start small, pick an area. You have a disease expert, you have physicians. Pick an area, have a chat. So get used to doing it in a way that is not going to compromise your brand. I think it's really interesting. One of the things that came up was that, it's important when people talk on Twitter, and if they don't mention a brand, you have to be a little careful about if you respond. So there was the example of a blogger got angry because he was talking generically about a specific product, and then the company got in touch with him. With a PR person, now a customer service person might have been different, but outside the industry, that's been a best practice of really thinking about, respond. For example, TurboTax only responds if someone mentions TurboTax, not if they just say tax, because they found people think that's creepy.
Yeah, and speaking of starting small, tell us just a little bit about Extravertic. I mean, you started the company, it's grown, it's evolving. Where are you headed, and what would you like to do in terms of some of your own aspirations and next steps?
Well, we started at the height of the recession, January 2009, and really what we do is we've infused more strategy, more strategic thinking into the creative communication process. So we're a combination of, we can do strategy and we do all creative. So where I see us going is I'm feeling more hopeful now more than ever that, social media in the next couple of years will be a bigger part of the marketing mix. Maybe not as a promotional part, but maybe I really believe strongly in the customer service and providing a way to interact that adds value to your patients.
Thanks. Dorothy Wetzel, founder of Extravertic, providing value. Spitz at EDTC Revolutions 2012, signing out. Thanks a lot.